Good morning, Kenny.
Yeah, good morning.
Kenny, what can you offer us that other candidates cannot?
Thank you very much. I believe that I'll be able to offer my wealth of experience over the years. I've worked in accounting for over 12 years, and six of those years are in UK, and the other six down in Africa. And one of the things is I have a good understanding of preparation of financial statement as well as the use of international financial reporting standard. Now, the IFRS, the International Financial Reporting Standard, is just being introduced in Canada. It's hopefully going to be in effect from next year onward. And since I've been using that for over 6 years, I'm quite comfortable with that. I believe that I'll be able to use that effectively. And not only that, another thing that will give me an edge over other candidates is the fact that rather than I'm not only an accountant, I have a good understanding of financial analysis as well. And this is part of what I've been doing because I've functioned effectively as a financial analyst and I've done a bit of consulting work as well. So that gives me a kind of a broad idea of what is expected of an accountant in terms of the knowledge and the experience, so that I'll be I believe that I'll be able to contribute a lot to the organization in terms of providing them identifying key areas that they would need to improve upon, as well as bringing my experience to play in that area. Definitely, I know that will help me that will give me an edge over other candidates. Thank you.
Very good, Kenny. And Kenny, what are your limitations, your biggest mistakes, and that's provided you have some?
Yeah, well, I know it is. One cannot say that you don't have a limitation or you don't have a. But one good thing is that I'm working on some of them. I'm working on them, and the one that I identified, which relates to my organization, which relates to where I've worked, is the fact that I'm more or less like a workaholic, and I expect those who are working with me to be, to work in that mode as well. That is when there's a target set for me or I have something to achieve, I want to put everything that I have in me. So it tends to, in a way, I kind of drive people along that line, which lately I'm discovering that you got to slow down a bit and allow people, not totally giving them to work at it, but encourage them along and help them to be able to work at your own pace, which is quite important. Before, I wasn't, usually I just expect people to see that me doing it, lead by an example, and I expect you to work at that level. But, people are not the same, right? So you expect everybody to work at their own pace. But what is important is working towards achieving the organization objective.
Very good, Kenny. And how long would it take you to make a meaningful contribution to our firm?
That's an interesting one. Now, that depends on basically on what I find on the ground. I'll give you an example. When I joined the organization I work for in UK, Alabaster, when I came in there, one of the things I discovered was that the internal control system was not properly being implemented. It was not even actually in place, so to speak. And one of the things I first of all did was to make sure that I set up an internal control system because it's important to safeguard the asset of the company. Then I now begin to look at inward to examine because the organization wasn't making profit, and we need to pull it out of that loss making to be able to profitability. Now, one of the things I did was to examine internally the cost of the organization, and there we begin to identify where we could save costs for the organization, and that really helped us tremendously. Down the road, by the end of that year, we were able to turn around to make profit, not a lot in the first year. But obviously, we make a significant profit the following year. And not only that, one of the things that I'll definitely be able to bring into the table is to examine what are the areas that we can, I believe I have a good eyes to spot what areas that we can add value to the organization. Because at the end of the day, every strategy has to tend towards ensuring that the organization maintains profitability, maximizes profit. Since that will sustain the organization. So I have a good eyes to identifying key areas that the organization needs to improve on to be able to maximize its profit. Thank you.
Very good, Kenny. And finally, Kenny, when would you be able to start?
Good question. Presently, I'm working working with an organization, and interestingly, I've not used my holiday yet. I've only taken two days off throughout the year, so basically, I should be able to start within a week or two, because without holiday in there. And the beauty of it is that I've already prepared my assistant and all those who are working with me, that they are able to do exactly what I'm doing and do it effectively when I'm not there. So that kind of make it easier for me that when I say I want to go, the organization will be able to get somebody at least to be able to step into my shoe. And that's what I tend to do, because I believe a good leader must be able to train people up and bring them up to speed and let them be able to, there should be an ability to duplicate what you're doing. Well, and that's one of the things I've been able to do.
Well, that's very good. Sounds like you're a team player and very ethical. Kenny, finally, thank you very much for your time, and best of luck to you in your search.
Thank you very much.